All right, so this is completing the staff performance evaluation form in eTrieve. Here we have logged into eTrieve. We're going to go to the Forms section in the menu. We're going to go to the top of the Forms list in the search field, and we're going to type evaluation. It's going to give us a couple of different options. We're going to go to the second form on the list. That's the staff performance evaluation. Give it a click, and then if you want a little more real estate, get some of the clutter out of the way, you can click on this arrow. You'll notice it bounces when you hover your mouse over it, and that'll minimize the menu, give you some more space to work. We're going to start by entering the employee's ID number. If it has a preceding 0 or multiple preceding zeros, you don't need to add the preceding zeros. You just add the numbers, click search. It'll automatically add the preceding zeros, and then it'll populate their last name and first name just to save you a little time. Make sure you got the right person. Then you go down and you select the campus, tab over, fill in their position title, tab over, enter their department, tab down to the time and position. Be as accurate on this as you can. Enter the months, the years and the months. Tab over to the start date, and this will give you a pop-up calendar. Simply select the month. Traditionally ours goes from February to March, but if you do yours a little out of cycle, maybe you do yours December, November to December, or January to February, or December to February, or December to January, whatever the case may be. You simply select from the calendar, or if you're the type that likes to manually type it in, you can manually type in the date here if you prefer. It's up to you. But I'll go from end of February, previous year. And if you click in the field and you get this little overlay, you can simply press the escape key and it'll make that disappear. And then I'll go to the beginning of March for the current year. For the date administered, you can leave that blank. You'll notice that it does not have a red asterisk beside it, so it is not a mandatory field. That will be filled in the day you review the evaluation with the employee you're writing the evaluation for. You do not have to fill that in the day you initiate the form, because you may not know the exact date when you're going to administer this evaluation to the employee, so you can leave that blank. Then you come down and you'll select the type of evaluation. It's either going to be an annual, end of training, or an interim. Based on the dates I've entered, this is going to be an annual evaluation. Then we come down to the key responsibilities area. These key responsibilities are taken from the job description. These are the essential job functions taken from the job description. If this is the very first time you've ever done one of these evaluations for a person in this job description, then you're going to have to grab the job description, either from your desk and manually type these in, or if you have the PDF saved on your computer, copy and paste from that PDF. Or if this is someone that you wrote an evaluation on from last year, then you can simply open that evaluation from last year and copy and paste the information from last year's evaluation, which is probably the easiest way to go about doing this. See if I can get some copy and paste action done here. I'll just open a new window. pull up activity. And this looks like mine from last year. Yeah. And you just copy and paste. And you add a second one. And you copy and you paste. So there's nothing difficult. It's easy stuff. You don't have to retype everything. You know, we don't want you to reinvent the wheel. You just copy it and you paste. So you know, I'm not going to go through all of these and redo everything. You get the idea. Copy and paste, copy and paste. And you can add up to 10 of these blanks. It's giving you room for 10. If there's more than 10, then you're going to have to combine. You can combine like key duties or key responsibilities. And that's, you know, how do you do that? Well, that's simple. You just take this one and you put it in with that one. You know, if you just take two that are similar, just put them together. Easy stuff. Okay, so yeah, you can add up to 10. And then you just move on to the next area, the college competencies. These are the same for everybody, so you don't have to type anything in here. You can't type anything in here. You can't add, you can't remove. So this is all pre-done. All you have to do with these, when it gets to the time where you make your evaluation, you simply select the appropriate rating, and you don't even have to do that this time around. If you're the supervisor and you're filling this out, you don't have to. You have to make your chooses, you select your ratings yet. Right now you're just getting this thing set up. So direct supervisor, don't worry about the comments yet. We're only worrying about the required fields, okay? The red asterisk fields. So essentially, for the first part of this, now you're ready to move down to the approvals and the routing information. And this is pretty important. Actually, this is really important because whatever you put in these fields here, whoever's names show up in these fields right here is going to determine where this form goes. So this is pretty important. So the direct supervisor, if you're not the direct supervisor, but you're the initiator of this form, you need to make sure that the person that you enter into this first field is the person being evaluated. Make sure that this is their direct supervisor. So for example, if this evaluation is being filled out for me, I'm the employee being evaluated, then my direct supervisor is Shelly Gonzalez. And you'll notice that it has down here last name, comma, space, first name, because that's the format that traditionally eTrieve is going to be looking for. So put in last name, comma, space, first name. Gonzalez, comma, space, Shelly. And then you click the search button. Oops, I misspelled it. I'm missing an A. Gonzalez. And if it comes up and says employee not found, well, one of two things happens. Either the employee doesn't work here, or two, the employee has not logged into eTrieve yet for that day. So if you put in last name, comma, space, first name, and it comes up and says employee not found, then you try doing first name, last name. And then you do a search again. And if it shows up, then you look and make sure that it shows the correct person with their corresponding ctcd.edu email address. What this means, again, is that the person, that employee, has not logged into eTrieve yet. All right, this is Shelly. She's the only Shelly Gonzalez that works here. There are no students by the name of Shelly Gonzalez, and if it was a student, they wouldn't have a .ctcd.edu email address. So that just means that Shelly's been, she may or may not be at work today, but she has not logged in to eTrieve yet. That's all that means. So then we go to the second level supervisor. Not everybody has a second level supervisor, and that's what this note is for. If the second level supervisor is the dean or division director, then you go ahead and put that person in here. But if there is no second level supervisor, then you put the direct supervisor in here again. So I know Shelly hasn't logged in to eTrieve yet, so I put her in here twice. So is that going to mess up the routing? No. All that means is Shelly's going to get this the first time. She's going to go in and make her comments. She's going to do her ratings. And then when she clicks the approve button, the form is going to go out and it's going to come right back to her. That's all it's going to do. But as the supervisor, she should expect this. All right? She should expect this because she should know that there's no second level supervisor. If there is a second level supervisor, for example, in my case, there is a second level supervisor. That second level supervisor is Holly Jordan. So I'll do a search for Holly Jordan. So I'll put in last name, comma, space, first name, because again, that's the way I should search for the employees. So I click search. It found Holly because she has obviously logged into eTrieve today. There's Holly Jordan. Okay. If I search for Holly like I did for Shelly, first name, last name, it'll probably come up and say employee not found because Holly has already logged in to eTrieve. So just to be on the safe side, always search last name, comma, space, first name first. If they're not found that way, then you search first name, last name. You can search just by last name, but then you're going to get a list of everybody with that last name. Okay? Everybody with that last name. Employees, students, because see, look here, yahoo.com. Is that an employee or is that a student? I don't know. Here's a Gmail address. Is that employee or a student? I don't know. Are you going to send a form to this person to be reviewed? No. So searching by last name only, bad choice. Bad choice. So always try last name, comma, space, first name first. If that doesn't work, then first name, last name. Avoid last name only. Okay? There we go. Because you don't want to be sending employee performance evaluations to students. Trust me, you don't. All right, so we got first level supervisor, second level supervisor. Now we need to find the executive officer, dean, or division director. These folks are going to be selected by title. By title. All right. Now, this brings up another situation because my dean or division director is the HR director, who is Holly Jordan. So we don't want these people in high places to be getting these forms twice. Okay? So if the second level supervisor is the dean or division director, enter the direct supervisor again. So since Holly is the dean or division director, she is the division director, we're going to take Holly out of this slot and we're going to put Shelly in here a second time. Again, that's because it's better to have the first level supervisor, the direct supervisor, get it twice. Better for this supervisor to get it twice than for this level of supervision to get it twice, right? You don't want a deputy chancellor to get it twice. You want your direct supervisor to get it twice. Does that make sense? Everybody shake their head. Yes, that makes sense. Okay. All right, so if the second level supervisor is a dean or division director, put the direct supervisor in here. If there is no second level supervisor, put the direct supervisor in here. Okay? All right, so now we drop down here to the bottom. This is simply the employee. who's getting evaluated. The employee who's being evaluated. So the name here should be the same as the name here. This is not the name of this person. This name should be the same as this name. Okay, this is the employee being evaluated. Because they're going to be the last person to see this before the final review when it goes to HR. Okay? So, the review and approval process is going to go to the direct supervisor. Then it's going to go to the second level supervisor. Then it's going to go to the dean or division director. Then it's going to go to the employee. Then it's actually going to go back to the supervisor, and then it's going to flow on to human resources. Okay? And that's all there is to it. Once you're done filling this in, then you go back and do a quick check, make sure everything is filled in, especially the required fields. Now, if you're the direct supervisor, you can go ahead and make the appropriate ratings at this time. Or you can go ahead and click the submit button, and when it gets to you the second time around, then you can make your rating choices. Or go ahead and make them now. And then when it gets to you the second time, then you can refine it. Make any adjustments, especially into your comments, because the supervisor, direct supervisor, must make comments. And these comments must be hard-hitting bullet statements. Add numbers if you can, right? Improve production so much percentage. Customer service increased, this much, whatever the case may be. That's the kind of stuff we don't want to just hear. Billy was really good this year. We all love him. That's not what we want to see. Okay. You must answer these questions. Was a performance or is a performance improvement plan in effect? Would you recommend this person for a step increase? If you say no to this, then this must justify why you say no. If you say yes, this person should get a step increase, then this must justify why you say that. Okay? So once it comes back around to the supervisor, then the supervisor clicks approve, and then it gets to the second level supervisor. All the supervisors just click approve through this. There is no referring of this form anymore. Everybody just clicks approve. If somebody somewhere along the line here disagrees with a rating or a comment on the form and they think it needs to go back to somewhere along the line, then they're going to return the form. Don't refer the form, return the form, because then it's going to go back somewhere along the line, and then it's going to have to come back through the approval process again. It goes back for a change, and then it comes back through the approval process again, so that everybody can see that change that was made. And anytime you return a form for a change, make a comment in the history section. Let everybody know why you returned the form. That's important, that people know why a form was returned. That becomes a permanent part of the history. But that's essentially all there is. You fill out the key fields, add the evaluation areas for key responsibilities, pull them off of the job description, pull them off of a previous evaluation. Just make sure it's a current, within a year evaluation. Make sure no changes in the job description. Evaluate appropriately. Add meaningful comments. Make sure you check to make sure that they're not on a performance improvement plan. If you recommend them for a step increase, make sure that that recommendation is justified in the comments. If you don't recommend them for a step increase, make sure that recommendation is justified in the comments. And then press on, submit your form, approve your forms as they go through. and just be honest. And that pretty much does it. If you have any questions, give us a call over HR. Have a great day. Thanks.